So it seems like a new day and age for sneakers in the basketball space. We had the Luka ones from Jordan Brand, and now we have the Tatum ones. And I like that they are making it pretty simple with the naming convention of what they're doing here, because it's Tatum and it's his first shoe. So Tatum 1, Luka 1, we have the Jaw 1 as well. So there's at least 3 models that Nike's starting all over with. Obviously the Kobe line has been on hold for a while. We have the Kyrie line that's kind of come to an end. KD line is still doing its thing, and LeBron with the LeBron 20s is actually one of the best ones that they've released, in my opinion, aesthetically as well as everything else. But now we have the Tatum 1s, and this is a look at the new model. Now, obviously, this is not a performance basketball review of the sneaker. This is just from my point of view as a casual consumer, one that used to play basketball and drop 40 points in one game back in the day in high school, but I'm not that guy anymore. I'm just an old man. But I still have this fascination with basketball sneakers, so I've been reviewing a couple of the newer models on this channel. If you guys want to see more of these type of videos, leave a comment and let me know, because there is a Jaw one that I want to check out. The Luka one, maybe I'll just end up getting if there's any interest. But it's fun for me to be able to see some of the new models, because honestly, again, like I mentioned, it's a new day and age in basketball sneakers, and I feel like it's eventually going to get to the point where they're going to be cool again to wear casually on more of a regular basis. Obviously, there's the people that just do it because they don't care and they just like what they like, and they wear them no matter what other people say. And then obviously there's a lot of the more quote-unquote sneakerhead folks that just wear Jordan retros and nothing else, basically. But I do feel like this is the dawn of a new era with the new products that are releasing. But is this going to be one of those sneakers that can cross over to lifestyle or not? I'm kind of torn on it. I think yes and no, because of the way that they designed this sneaker. So I wore these a couple days just to see how comfortable they were from a casual perspective, just walking around and whatnot. And all in all, like, it's a pretty awesome pair of sneakers, to be honest. For performance basketball, I'd be interested to see how well they actually perform, because there is a couple interesting elements to the shoe would make these pretty difficult to perform in like all court scenarios, just because it seems like it could be a little bit slippery or maybe just not last as long as a traditional pair of basketball shoes. But I'll get into that more in a second. This is the first colorway that released. This is the Jordan Tatum 1 black metallic gold colorway, and I got a true to size 9.5, which fits me correctly in my opinion. And a couple words from what Jordan Brand says about the product. This is the Zoo colorway, as they call it, and retail is $120. It says family time is just as important to Jayson Tatum as the on-court minutes, and that's what this premium colorway is all about. The Tatum 1 Zoo takes a walk in the wild side with a design inspired by Jay's favorite place to bring his son. Swaths of giraffes, zebras, and big cat prints crisscross the upper, adding layers of texture and color. Embroidery on the tongue keeps the animal theme on a prowl, and the classic pops of red tie that look back to the Jordan heritage. Rubber only where it counts. Rubber is heavy, so they did away with as much as possible, but we kept where it matters most, the forefoot and the toe, where you push forward for big drives. Reinforced foam, we wrapped foam around the strong plastic frame in the midsole for lightweight structure. Then we stress tested it to make sure it holds up for the full 48. Uncaged air, a Nike Zoom air unit visible from the bottom of the shoe, helps get you the ups you're looking for without weighing you down. He's weighing in at only 12 ounces for the Tatum 1s, which makes it the lightest pair of Jordan sneakers from what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but 12 ounces is very light on a pair of basketball sneakers. As an example, the Harden 7s are like 16.6 ounces, so these are like 4.5 ounces lighter than that. I would say the overall build quality of the shoe is pretty decent. It is a lower tiered model at the $120 price point, which means they probably had to be like smart in the way they engineered the sneaker to give Jayson Tatum what he wanted, but also be able to have the price point be like affordable to most people out there, and to give people a good option on feet for the court at a lower tiered price point, similar to like the Giannis range, I guess. Now, a couple of areas I like about these shoes. Well, for one, it is kind of like a traditional pair of basketball shoes, but done in a little bit of a less traditional way. And I'm speaking of this midsole and the outsole specifically. That is the part that I think is more up for debate than anything. I don't know what this material is on the upper, but it has like a couple different layers of this woven pattern, which makes it quite breathable, to be honest, but it is a little bit rough to the touch. That being said, it's not like traditional mesh, and it's over the majority of the shoe, which I'm under the impression that it's actually quite durable, but it's also very breathable, which is why they used it for this upper. And I think they did a great job on that. I think durability will be the big test, but overall, it's a very breathable shoe. So I think that that is quite a feat for the price point of the shoe. I also like the tongue of the shoe. It's definitely padded enough, and it's big enough that it gives you like that basketball shoe look and feel, and you do have some nice cushioning around the heel cup of the shoe as well. Now, one of the interesting elements of the shoe that they actually have on both sides is this extended look up through the midfoot of the shoe. It's kind of like a TPU plastic wrap, and then you do have the foam that actually rides up the side as well. I don't know if there's actually any functional use of that or not, but it looks pretty cool, and it actually does help distinguish the shoe a little bit better from the sides of the shoe. It gives it a little bit more personality on the sides of the shoe. However, I am kind of curious about this floating section at the bottom of the shoe as it connects down here where the zoom is. When I tried these on, to be 100% honest, I did feel a little bit of the zoom pocket on the forefoot of the shoe just from walking around. It definitely kind of protruded up a little bit, but that's because I'm assuming when you break these in, obviously that zoom pad is going to give you that extra little bounce back and the recoil that you want when you're on the basketball courts. However, from a casual, I definitely noticed that feeling on feet. Again, it's not anything that protruded so much where it was uncomfortable. It was noticeable, but not uncomfortable, I would say. I am kind of torn about this part because I do like the visible air zoom unit on the bottom of the shoe. It's massive as well across the whole forefoot section of the shoe, which I think looks great. And it's a nice little tech feature on the bottom of the shoe. You also see the back section of the air unit back here, and then a little bit of a cross section in plastic right here. And this is where I'm torn because it's pretty cool looking, but it doesn't make it quite as functional of a shoe off court as it would on court. And obviously the overall intent of the shoe is on court. So I get the design aspect of what they're doing here. And to be honest, when I wore these casually and stuff, it's not like I noticed the exposed section down here, but it is situational. If you're in Oregon, you're walking through the forest and the trees, you can't really wear these things. If you're walking through the grass and stuff, like this would not be a shoe that I'm going to wear to the beach, hiking, or taking my kid to like baseball practice. It's just not the shoe to wear. And if you're limited in the amount of different footwear you can have on feet, you need that one-stop shop basketball shoe, grocery store, kids errands and stuff. This probably is not going to be your shoe, which again does make it a little bit more limiting than the rest. However, if you have like unlimited budget and you just want to be able to wear these casually for this scenarios, that makes sense. Cement, malls, walking around the arcade or something like that, this is a great option. In fact, I took my kid to the arcade and wore these around there. But overall, I was curious how that floating section would hold up, and it held up just fine from a casual, but again, situationally, just be aware. The only other thing I would question about the shoe is the traction on the back section of the shoe being all foam instead of having the traction pods. I feel like they need a traction pod on the middle of the back, and I'm guessing if they have a second version of this shoe, we'll get a second version with the foam pod on the back. Maybe give it another 0.02 ounces or whatever of weight, give that traction pod on the back, because I bet you people that use these for performance will be complaining about the traction on the back. Probably won't be a problem on NBA courts where everything's perfectly sticky, but on an average like 24-hour fitness court or wherever you're playing hoops, it's probably a little bit slippery and you probably have to wipe them off. But this colorway is pretty nice. I do like the overall zoo theme, even though you can't really tell. The back section just looks kind of like almost elephant print. It's just kind of all over the place. And then you have the zero back here and then Jumpman and then the JT logo on the tongue. All those are like gold embroidery, which I do like. Anyway, that's my overall thoughts on the shoe. If you guys have any other thoughts from the performance side or from the casual, please leave a comment in the comment section. Again, I think the overall design of the shoe is excellent. It's something you can wear casually, which is something that I plan on doing, but it's not something that you can wear everywhere casually. So congratulations to Tatum for actually getting his own signature sneaker. Curious to see where this goes from here, because I feel like, again, I'm just waiting for that spark, that Nike basketball spark. I want it back. I want it back, darn it. And I wish Kyrie still had his line too. Politics aside, I really liked his line, and politics aside, I really like the Kobe line. So maybe they bring that back in some form or another in the future as well. It sounded like they were going to, but I haven't heard anything in a long time. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on the video. If you guys are interested in buying a pair of Tatum 1s, link in the description. It takes you to Nike's site. And if you guys use my link, I do get a little bit of a kickback, and it lets Nike know that you guys made the purchase, which is greatly appreciated. So, because maybe they'll actually send me these in the future. Nike, start helping me out, man. Anyway, have a good one. Thanks for stopping in, and hopefully we'll see you back on the channel for some more content. All right, peace, guys.